It's Thursday, September 3, and this is your Barbados Today Evening News Update. The entertainment fraternity is mourning the passing of one of their own. Colin Reid, the Calypsonian known as the People's King, was found dead at his home in Grisette, St. Michael. This evening, police and scores gathered at his residence as the news broke. His daughter Zena Rowell says there was no indication that her father, who was an active man, was ill. Rowell described her dad as a great man.
My father was a very great person. He was very educated, very educated. He used to teach me a lot. I have a lot of lessons to be taught. As I told you, even for him to come up the road to cut the cuckoo, he showed me his way of doing it. And it was like the best cuckoo. So simple things like that, he used to always tell me, because he's also had a trade tailoring. So he used to make clothes for workplace I used to work at, or any little alterations I could do. He loved tailoring pants, stuff like that. And even when it was COVID, I told him, come and let me do some masks. He did a lot of masks, he sold them and stuff like that. And he was always, into things like that. He loved to, anything, you could have a good discussion with him. Anybody that knows him know that my father would give you any advice or anything, and he loved to speak about things too. So he would always get, as big as I am, my dad would give me a kiss, time, see you later, or whatever the case is. He loved my daughter, he loved his son, his family. So my father was, I don't know how much words I could put in him. He was very great.
In other news this Thursday, former Minister and Member of Parliament Reginald Farley has been nominated to become the new President of the Senate. Word of this from Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Farley, who is currently stationed in Ottawa as this country's High Commissioner to Canada, returns home shortly for his formal appointment to the Senate. He will subsequently be the government's nominee for President of the Senate when the new session of Parliament opens on September 15. Ambassador Farley served as a member of both Houses of Parliament and as a Minister of Government in a previous Barbados Labour Party administration. His appointment to the Senate and imminent nomination for the post of President of the Senate follows the resignation of former President Sir Richard Cheltenham. Small business operators are being encouraged to form clusters as they seek to emerge from the doldrums created by the COVID-19 pandemic. That's the advice from officials of the Barbados Trust Loan Fund, who on Thursday hosted some 52 entrepreneurs in a networking session to wrap up a week of training at the Parkinson Resource Centre in the Pine St. Michael. General Manager of the fund, Jerry Amos, told reporters that the over 50 participants were from the backlog of just over 1,300 applicants to the collateral-free fund since last year.
Today is new applicants, but we have been careful in selecting these applicants. We've concentrated primarily on agriculture, manufacturing, some that may have needed emergency funds based on our assessment.
Amos noted that during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, firms were given a 3-month ease from paying back their loans, and in some cases, especially those involved in the tourism sector, were given a grace period of 6 months. He said the board will consider further extension for businesses, but on a case-by-case basis.
With the advent of COVID-19, a lot of our businesses were affected. I must say sometimes it's painful to even speak to some of the entrepreneurs to see what they've gone through over the last 4 or 5 months. But what we have attempted to do, however, is look at these clients, those who we believe we could help to survive. We actually bring them back in and we give them a little top-up on their loan. We realize that we can't do it for everyone at this time, but we'll gradually do it, and we'll actually try to strengthen those businesses however we can. All may not be financial, but we'll use sources like this training to try to get people back on their feet.
And you're giving them a grace period, obviously?
Yes, during the COVID period, we actually give them a grace period of 3 months. In some cases, in the tourist sector, we've actually extended that to 6 months.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now, in Jamaica, the counting of ballots is underway to determine who will lead Jamaica for the next 5 years. The two main political parties are both confident after a day of busy voting. Prime Minister Andrew Holness cautiously predicted the seat count.
We expect to win more than we currently have. I don't want to venture a guess, but I would say we would be certainly more than 35.
While Dr. David Campbell is expecting the result to go in the favor of the People's National Party.
We don't get distracted and focus on those things. We would probably be anxious if we were not doing what we were supposed to do, but we're not anxious because we have been doing what we're supposed to do. Politics is about organization, so you're doing the enumeration. It's about doing the work, understanding where your strength is or where your numbers are. How do you message to the people based on the issues that are affecting them? How do you mobilize your support on the day? Those are things that we fully understand, and those are things that we have been focused on and working on. So today we don't have any, I feel very confident. Very confident. Our canvas is the best canvas I've seen since I've been here in any election. And so I expect today that we will come out victorious and that we'll come out by a larger margin than the two previous elections.
On the international front, 7 police officers were suspended today over the arrest and death of black man Daniel Prude in Rochester, New York, after video of the March incident was released. The city mayors announced the move, calling it an act of racism.
Mr. Daniel Prude was failed by our police department, our mental health care system, our society, and he was failed by me. And I stand here against the advice of our corporation counsel, but I would not be who I am today if I don't stand on my own truth. I must apologize to the Prude family and to all of our community. I have never shied away from taking action and holding our police or anyone that fails in their duties in our community accountable. That is why I am suspending the officers in question today against the advice of counsel. And I urge the Attorney General to complete her investigation. Experiencing and ultimately dying from a drug overdose in police custody, as I was told by the chief, is entirely different than what I ultimately witnessed on the video provided to me by the law department on August 4th. At no time prior to August 4th.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.